This video is sponsored by Anker. Hey, what's going on, people? I hope you guys are doing good. Today, we're gonna be talking about my experience with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. That's right, we're finally getting into my full review after using it for 4 months. This is gonna be a very unconventional review, so I don't have a script written, I don't have any bullet points, I'm going straight off the top of my head, so if I miss something, it's not because I did it intentionally, it's because it's not important to me. So with that being said, fact checkers beware. If I say something like, this phone has a 200 megapixel camera, no. Or that it's running the latest Intel chip, yeah, still no. It's not that it's wrong, it's just this is my experience. And with that being said, I'm gonna grab something to drink. And while I do that, here's a quick word from this video's sponsor. Streaming, video calls, and online lectures have been a huge part of our lives these past few years. I feel like the importance of a good webcam has grown significantly since the pandemic. That's where Anker is shaking things up with the AnkerWork B600 video bar. It's more than just a webcam. Packing a 4-in-1 design, it offers a soft light bar, high-resolution video quality, noise reduction and voice pickup, speakers, and much more packed into a small body. It packs a 2K camera with a wide-angle, low-distortion lens, which produces high-quality images and true-to-life video. For microphones, the B600 has a 4-mic array, plus voice radar noise canceling and vocal pickup. This patented technology cancels out the background noise while enhancing the clarity of your voice. For speakers, it features dual speakers made from specialized natural silk that sound great. The built-in light is nice and soft, so it doesn't cast hot spots on your skin. It utilizes Magic Sight Intelligent Adaptive Lighting. This is another patented technology that automatically adapts to make sure you look bright and professional even in low light conditions. The B600 video bar is easy to set up and upgrades your home office without any complicated installs. It's as simple as plug and play. Solo frame keeps you center frame no matter if you move around. This allows you to demonstrate things while streaming without the worry of being off camera. Instant autofocus is intelligent autofocus powered by AI to make sure no matter what you're showing, it's tack sharp. Plus, the B600 supports AnkerWork software, which unlocks several controls such as resolution, field of view, lighting, and more. The B600 is available right now on Amazon for $219. However, sales are always happening, so make sure to check the link in the description or the pinned comment for up-to-date pricing. If you're looking for another great option, also with great performance, check out the C200. It packs 2K resolution, noise reduction, and light capture functionality. It also comes in at only $60 on Amazon, so it's great if you're on a budget. I'll link it down in the description if you feel like checking it out. Once again, huge thanks to Anker for sponsoring this video. So I got some coffee. We're drinking from Foxtail today. This is a vanilla caramel cold brew. It's pretty tasty, definitely recommend it. Let's kick this off with design and durability. And when I say design, I mean the usability of this phone because it's a large device. What's funny is this phone is slightly taller than the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and even still, I prefer to use this over the iPhone simply because it fits in my hand better due to the curved edges. It just makes it a little bit more ergonomic. And when you combine that with the excellent one-handed mode built into the software, this phone is extremely easy to use and it makes the usability excellent. I can move the keyboard over to one side, or I can shrink the entire display to one little window, giving me access to everything with a single hand. I love it. So usability, excellent. Durability, really surprising. Let's start with the display. So I typically use a screen protector on all of my phones, and I had one on this phone, but I took it off about 2 months ago because I wanted to test out the durability of the new Gorilla Glass, and I gotta say, it has really surprised me. I do have the micro scratches, of course, but they're pretty isolated to the right side only. Some of them are deep and I can feel with my nail, but they're really not bad at all. It's far better than the S21 Ultra, so kudos to Gorilla Glass for that. I still recommend grabbing a screen protector for this phone or for future generations, but I can see in the next 4 or 5 years, we may not need screen protectors. It is definitely getting better. So flipping the phone over to the back side, this matte glass is very resilient and it's held up perfectly. Like, it looks just as good today as it did day one. Granted, I do keep a case on my phone. I rarely use this phone without a case. Even though I took off the screen protector, I make sure that I have some type of protection on my device just for drops and things like that. The case that I use is this Pitaka case right here, and I love it. It's very lightweight, the carbon fiber is nice, plus it supports MagSafe accessories, so it's great for docks, chargers, and things like that. I guess if there's one criticism I have when it comes to the design of this phone, it's the camera bump. While I do appreciate the minimalistic design, there's no like giant square or patch on the back, the camera lenses themselves are a little annoying. Because of how far they stick out and how close they are together, a lot of lint and dirt just build up around the edges of the camera lenses, and it's really hard to clean, if not impossible. You do have to use like a little brush or like a toothbrush to get into the cracks to get all of the dust out. And it's a little annoying, and it doesn't look that clean, especially if you have the black version like I have here, because you can see all the white pocket lint really easily. From a sheer durability aspect, this phone has held up incredibly well, especially the IP rating. If you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, make sure you do that. I do like the most insane camera test over there, including dipping my phones in water for underwater video test, throwing the phones in the air, just doing random stuff. I have dipped this phone in freshwater springs, lakes, rainwater, reclaimed water, like the fountain over there where bootleg churches baptize babies. Oh God, it got in my mouth. Okay, so now let's talk about the content consumption or multimedia experience on the S22 Ultra. In short, it's great. I love it. It's one of my favorite phones to watch videos on, to play games on, to consume YouTube videos on. The display is excellent. The 120 Hz Quad HD Plus display is vibrant, it's nice, it's one of my favorite displays out there. But if I had to criticize it, it comes down to the brightness. It's really weird. On paper, it's one of the brightest displays on the market, but when you compare it to other phones like the Xperia 1 Mark IV, which I'll be referencing quite a bit in this video, the Xperia 1 Mark IV, per my eye, is actually brighter when it comes to sustained brightness. It's very, very strange. However, the peak brightness on this phone is incredible, and it definitely comes in clutch when you live in Florida under bright, sunny sun. My experience, not yours. In all seriousness, the display on the S22 Ultra is fantastic. I absolutely love the content consumption experience on this phone. Other than the weird brightness thing, I don't really have any complaints. Is it a huge jump from the S21 Ultra? No, but the small things do make a big difference. With that being said, speakers are the other half of the equation when it comes to content consumption, so here's a quick listen.
Conduct needed a hero. Instead, they got me. I did what needed to be done.
So I talked about watching videos and consuming content in that aspect, but what about gaming? The gaming experience on the S22 Ultra for me has been great. In fact, this is the phone that turned me into a mobile gamer. I play Android games, Xbox games, and the experience has been top notch. I love the high refresh rate display combined with the high resolution. It just provides a very balanced gaming experience. Of course, there is the controversy surrounding GOS or game optimization services, where Samsung was throttling this phone in order to prevent overheating, but that really wasn't applicable to me. But then again, I'm not like a competitive mobile gamer. I just game for fun, and I've been doing it a lot more lately. And like I said, the experience has been fine for me. Let me know in the comment section how it's been for you. So we talked about gaming. Now let's talk about the performance in daily use and how that's been for me. There's really nothing new to talk about in this regard. It's a modern flagship with modern flagship specs. The experience is excellent. Whether you're opening apps, closing apps, background app switching, multitasking, whatever it is you're doing in your daily life, you're not gonna be disappointed with this phone. I've not run into any hiccups or stutters. However, one thing I will say is, after using the Xperia 1 Mark IV, there's that reference again, I realized while this phone isn't laggy, it's definitely not as fluid as the Xperia. That phone really surprised me. The Xperia is almost more snappy and fluid than my iPhone. Whereas the S22 Ultra, I would say, is on the same page or level as my iPhone. So there is that. I don't know what it is about the Xperia. I don't know if it's the animation speeds on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, or maybe it's Sony's nearly stock Android-like experience, but that phone just felt like it was a little bit more fluid. So I know I mentioned the Xperia quite a bit in this video, but one thing that the Galaxy S22 Ultra does much better than the Xperia is maintain a good temperature. The Xperia overheated so much. You can check out my full comparison up above, but the S22 Ultra doesn't really give me any issues with overheating. Does it overheat? Yes, just like any other phone, but it doesn't shut down or malfunction or freeze up. Instead, the screen dims significantly, but I could still use it like a regular phone. Battery life on the S22 Ultra is very subjective. It depends on how much you use your phone, what you use your phone for. Are you connected to Wi-Fi, 5G? So everything is going to be different for you than it is for me. But I'm able to average anywhere between 6 to 8 hours of screen on time using some battery hacks. If you missed my battery saving tips and tricks video, go ahead and click the card up the top. But I have realized that after several software updates, my battery life has gotten significantly worse. If I use all the tips that I talked about in my previous video, I can definitely average around 1 to maybe even pushing it 2 days of battery. Here's the thing, when it comes to software updates and battery life decreasing, you can't just point your finger at Samsung. This happens to all smartphones across the board, at least 99% of them. Apple is notorious for pushing out updates and then degrading the battery. I mean, they are probably at the top. Samsung really isn't even that bad, especially when they give you so many cool features in order to take that battery life into your own hands. Now, there are smartphones out there, such as the Pixel, that have actually improved over time with software updates and battery life, but I really don't find it to be an issue on Samsung, unless you have the Exynos version. I do have the Snapdragon version, so if you have the Exynos, that could be an issue. I don't know, I don't have any experience with that device. So now let's talk about software, right? Because this is an area where I feel like I have covered to death, and I'm not going to get into too much detail about this. If you want to check out what this phone is capable of software-wise, click the cards up top. They will take you over to a Samsung S22 Ultra playlist where I go over tons of tips and tricks. One thing I do want to get out of the way now is for all the people that talk about Samsung software being laggy, I'm not sure what recent Samsung phone you have used, but this is no longer TouchWiz. This is One UI. Ever since One UI happened on these phones, the lag and stuff has pretty much disappeared and the experience has been very, very good. And this phone just builds on that experience and it's very fluid, as I have previously said. I don't see where anybody can say that this phone lags because it just doesn't. Now, I do have some complaints when it comes to the software on the S22 Ultra. First and foremost, I really wish that I could import icon packs from the Google Play Store instead of having to buy them all from the Galaxy theme store. I feel like this could easily be done. I just wish that Samsung would go ahead and do it. I know OnePlus does this and several other companies, and I would like to see that brought over to the S22 Ultra. Secondly, the S Pen. While I do love the S Pen in all of its functionality, I think one of the reasons why I don't use it as much on the S22 Ultra is because it's the same experience as the Note 20 Ultra. They did nothing. They changed nothing whatsoever. They didn't bring over any new features. The experience might be slightly better on the S22 Ultra, but it's not by much whatsoever. And in terms of features, there is nothing new. They could easily add like a microphone on this. That way I could use it as a handheld mic or a lapel mic and clip it to my shirt, hit record, and now I get cleaner audio. There's a lot that they could do with this little thing, and they've yet to bring over anything new in years, and that's kind of disappointing. The third thing I would like to see is them improve the snappiness of the OS. After using the Xperia device, and I'm sorry, I gotta reference it one more time, I feel like the animations could be tweaked to give you a more fluid and responsive experience. But outside of that, it's been a great phone and I love it. It's still my favorite Android device to date. All right, so now it's time to talk about the camera. And I would say out of all the Samsung phones that I have tested, this is the most consistent camera experience. It offers a wide range of lenses and cameras to choose from. It's very versatile. It's great in photos and videos. With that being said, it does have some issues. And one thing that really has surprised me is that we've yet to receive a major camera update from Samsung. Typically, they always push one out for every phone in the past, and it really changes the experience. It improves the HDR, it improves the nighttime photography, but this time I never got one. We kept saying that one was coming, we heard rumors, still nothing. So that's kind of weird for Samsung, something that I really don't understand. Also, I really hate the fact that Expert RAW is a separate app. I feel like that should be merged into the regular camera app and unlock 16-bit RAW that way. It should just be as simple as toggling on something in the settings. So not sure what's going on there. Hopefully with the next generation of One UI, they can take Expert RAW and the camera app and merge them both together and just simplify things. But I mean, outside of that, the app is fantastic. Samsung offers a plethora of features to choose from, including things that you don't find on other smartphones, such as focus peaking, exposure controls, all the manual controls that you can think of, including Pro Mode for video and for photo, portrait video, portrait photo, and several other features. I mean, it is fully loaded and packed with things that you can do. If you missed my camera tips and tricks video, go ahead and click the card up top and check it out because there's a lot to cover in that aspect. So there you go. That was my 4-month experience with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. If you picked up this phone, let me know how your experience has been down in the comment section. I really like this phone. Even though it does have some negatives and things that Samsung really needs to iron out and fix, it's still one of the best, if not the best, Android experience that you can currently get. I absolutely love this phone. I definitely recommend it. If you haven't picked one up, you should check it out. And make sure to stay tuned for more S22 Ultra coverage. Let me know what else you want to see, including like Bixby tips and tricks, Bixby routines, tips and tricks, all that good stuff. Sound off down below. Love hearing from you guys. With that being said, I have to find a way down. This is a little bit too high for comfort, and I'm gonna climb down. I'll see you beautiful people in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff. Oh God, I'm getting down now.